This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com, featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe welcomes you to Tropic Time. I'll be your concierge. Our beach bites, including made-to-order wraps and bowls, are full of tropic vibes. And our fresh-from-the-blender smoothies make you feel absolutely radiant. It's like a wellness retreat for your taste buds. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Got breakfast plans? At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, hitting your protein goals is a breeze. With our smoothies, bowls, wraps, and dias featuring up to 32 grams of protein.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeart Radio app. All right, KFI AM 640, it is The Conway Show. Oh, yeah, all right, everybody, it's Monday. Let's all gather around the radio and, I don't know, maybe learn something. Who knows? I watched the Screen Actors Guild Award. We're going to get to our guest, Alex Stone, here in a second. Screen Actor Guild Award, I thought was great. It was on Netflix, so if you want to go see it, you don't have to DVR it. You don't have to, miss part of it or watch commercials. There's no commercials in it. None. Zero. And Demi Moore won Actress of the Year, so I think she's a lock to get an Oscar on Sunday. And I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, she's been working her ass off for 40 years. Never won anything. And now she might win Oscars, the Oscar for Best Actress or Best Female Actor. I don't know what they call it nowadays. But, they use that term. I think SAG uses the term. I got to be careful talking about SAG. I got a pension coming. But SAG uses female actor instead of actress. Tell me the last time you heard this. Oh, man. Went to a bar last night called the Money Tree in Toluca Lake. Oh, and I was just getting hammered. And I ran into the most awesome female actor you've ever seen in your life. The greatest female actor. Oh, you got to meet her. She's my new girlfriend. She's my female actor. Guys don't talk like that. All right, let's talk to Alex Stone here. Alex Stone, how you, bub?
Male radio guy. What's going on?
Yeah, big male radio guy.
Yeah, we're waiting for our pensions, right? So, we love them.
I got to be careful with SAG. Yeah. Hey, I saw on the rundown here. We're going to talk eggs. I can't do that. Is there anything else going on that we can?
You want to talk about steak? Steak prices going up.
Let's do that.
Prices?
Let's do that.
There you go.
I went to Walmart over the weekend. There's 9 million eggs in that store.
Oh, good.
They're everywhere.
Good.
I don't know where they're coming from. Turkey sent us, I think, 15 tons of them.
The country turkey, or
the country turkey. I don't know how. I don't know if they're any good once they get here. I don't know how long eggs survive. All right, we can talk a little bit about eggs. What's going on with eggs? Prices up?
Well, a little bit of breaking news in the egg world. The Denny's said a moment ago they're going to add on the surcharge that Waffle House has been doing. Except Denny's is saying that theirs is going to be restaurant by restaurant and market by market. That they're not going to say, 50 cents an egg. It's going to be, California is going to end up paying more that we always do. So, on the egg side of things, kind of like oil prices and then gas prices where oil goes up and then gas prices go up after it. the wholesale price of eggs is now over $8 a dozen nationally, 96% higher than a year ago. Oof. So that indicates that the $4.95 on average that the country is paying now for a dozen of eggs, that's going to go up because the wholesale price goes up and then the retail price goes up. But it's getting more expensive. It's going to keep getting more expensive. Sure. This lady blown away by it.
I was literally shocked to see the dozen of eggs at $9.26, and Costco had them about $24-25 for a flat.
So 26.8 million birds have now been lost in this outbreak of bird flu. Wow. 9 states it's confirmed in now, not just, it had been a little bit more regional. Here's the kicker on this whole thing, though. The Trump administration is expected to pretty soon here say that they want bird vaccinations, which kind of goes against the human vaccination thing. But,
well, they don't have a choice. They got to get vaxxed.
Yeah, and what are they going to say about it, the birds? But I'm sure there's going to be controversy around, do you want to eat eggs and chickens that have been vaccinated? But they got to stop this thing because it keeps growing. Listen to this chicken farmer in Georgia.
I was already doing a good business, but I used to have enough surplus eggs to sell to retailers who resold them at farmers markets and stuff like that. But I have been selling out every day, and I've had at least 5 new customers a week since this egg shortage started. So I haven't had any extra to sell to the retailers at all.
When did people start eating eggs this much? When I grew
it's
up,
like toilet paper, except they didn't eat it.
It's odd. It's odd. And not only are people talking about eggs, but it's not just eggs. Everything's expensive. I went out last night to dinner with my wife and my daughter, and we went to a place. I don't want to name the place. I love the place. But those individual pizzas are like 4 or 5 or 6 slices?
Sure.
And we had 3 of those and 2 beverages, $51.
Oh.
I don't know how people afford it.
Even fast food now. When
yes.
You're like, that was $40 right there? That was $50?
I went to Chick-fil-A. I got myself a 5-piece, fries and a Coke. My daughter got a sandwich, fries and a Coke, and it was $26.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
It's not cheap.
But that's what you and I used to pay for a steak, back in the old days.
You're right.
Back
Remember
at
the
Sizzler.
99-cent menus? And on the beef side of things, though, the cattle prices are going up as well because, not the bird flu, but because of drought in Oklahoma and Texas and Montana, and higher supply costs, and that goes back to drought as well for feed and whatnot. But this guy's a marketing specialist in Oklahoma.
Cattle prices are at record levels. That's working its way up through the system.
Livestock marketing. But again, it's supply and demand. Less available cattle, shortage of beef cattle has the prices going up. So if you do steak and eggs, and if you drive to get there, you're going to have to use your whole paycheck to have that one meal.
But you are. I remember the last time we went to Sizzler, and I think
that cheesy bread.
Oh my God, that garlic bread they bring to the table, it's unbelievable. But I think that the day of standing in line at a steakhouse and then getting your meal is probably coming to an end.
Yeah.
But I love the Sizzler. I went to the one in Washington with my wife, my daughter, and I brought I hate coupons. But I saw it in the paper, and I brought it, and it was a 2-for-1. You buy one dinner, you get the second one for free. So I get up there, I gave him the coupon, and the guy says, "Oh, this is for weekdays only." And I said, "Oh, give me, I'll take it. He goes, "No, let me ask the manager." I go, No. Let's not hold this line up. Rip that thing up. Let's get moving here. Man, I'm sweating my ass off. Right, because I'm the guy holding the line up to save $9. But I used to enjoy going to Sizzler, and it was not $8.99 or $9.99 for the entire meal. You got a salad or soup and dessert, the whole dessert bar and everything. And those days are gone.
The soft serve ice cream at the end. You put all those colorful sprinkles on there.
That's right. It's over. And
is that one in Koreatown still there?
No, it closed.
Oh.
And there was a guy who used to be the program director here, and I can't remember his name. Who was it, Crows? That used to be the program director at, and then went over to KBC. Can't remember his name.
David Hall?
David Hall used to go to that.
Hall, yeah, that's right.
David G. Hall used to go to that Sizzler, and every day ratings came out. Every month he'd go to that Sizzler and wait for ratings to come out, and he'd sit at a table waiting for them to come out on his computer, on his phone, and that's where he thought it was good luck. Well, that Sizzler closed. And yet he still went to the parking lot and sat in the parking lot waiting for the ratings to come out.
But in the parking lot, you can't get the Mexican bar with that rice pilaf stuff that they had. Oh, it was so good.
Oh, man. And I remember the one right across from the Great Western Forum. You know, you go to the King game or Laker game or a concert and eat at that Sizzler. And you thought just because you had a bowl of soup, you could park there for free for 9 hours. You know, while the concert was on. Of course you could.
Soup Plantation, same thing.
Oh, I love Soup Plantation. I don't know if they're still around.
It doesn't exist anymore, right? It's totally gone during the pandemic.
I think it's also another one that is a miracle that they're still around is Chuck E. Cheese. I don't understand how
during the pandemic, my wife and I, there's no way. Do you remember when they were trying to do during the pandemic just take out pizza? I mean,
yeah.
Pizza isn't typically what you're going there for.
That's right.
Based on quality. I thought people are paying just to buy the pizza, but apparently they did.
We went to the one in Thousand Oaks. I took my daughter there, and she went to play games, and she had trouble with one of the machines, so I went to help her out. Came back, and there were a family of 5 sitting at our table eating our dinner. It was just now theirs.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I didn't say anything. I said, guys, I don't want to. What am I going to say to the guy? Bust his balls in front of his kids?
Probably
so his kids always remember that.
To eat that pizza,
Yeah, I said, screw it. It's his pizza now. Let's get the hell out of here. What's wrong with you? I appreciate you coming on, Bob.
You got it.
Giant stud, ABC News, right?
You got it, yeah,
ABC.
exactly.
All right, thanks, man. All right, Alex Stone with ABC News. That guy's on top of it, man, with the eggs and the steaks. That guy's on it, man. That guy's the best.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
Really sad news that Roberta Flack passed away. I was a big fan. I went out last night with my wife, my sister, my daughter, and we drove out to Westlake to see how people in Westlake live. And my sister had to get something from Target out there off Lindero Canyon. It's just north of Lindero Canyon. And there's a Target out there that if you're a fan of Target, you should go look at this Target. It's immaculate. Every shelf is filled. There are very few people in there. Everybody was behaving. It looked like it was built 2 weeks ago, even though it's been there for 8 or 9, 10 years. It's spectacular. You got to see how the other half lives every once in a while. Lindero Canyon, Target. Got to get out there and look at this thing. It's unreal. So as we were driving out there, the Roberta Flack came on with Killing Me Softly. And I said to my daughter, I said, the guy I grew up with, Robbie Fox, and she goes, yeah, it was in your wedding. Yeah, I've known the guy since 7th grade. One of my best pals. His dad wrote that song, Killing Me Softly, that Roberta Flack sang. And my daughter said, Dad, you've told me this story like 50 times. And I said, well, okay, all right, okay. Well, as you get old, you repeat stories. That's why my wife and I have a policy. So if I start telling my wife a story that I've told her a million times, she'll interrupt me with repeat. And it stops. The story stops. Repeat. I got that from a buddy of mine, Mark Verge. Repeat. Because he does it too. Old guys do that. Crozier, I bet Jen's heard, your wife has heard that same stories.
Oh, yeah, I roll and everything.
Yeah. God almighty. When guys get older, look, there's a guy who works here at this station last week told me the same story 3 times. 3 times. Works here at KFI. And I don't interrupt him with repeat, but I should have. Anyway, Roberta Flack passed away at 88. This is one of the greatest songs in the world, is that Killing Me Softly. Oh, man.
Legendary R&B singer Roberta Flack has died.
Killing me softly with this song, killing me softly.
I don't think there's a better song in the world. I think that's the perfect song.
A statement from her team says the Killing Me Softly singer died this morning surrounded by family. No cause of death was given. Her illustrious career launched in the early 1970s with the Grammy Award-winning hit, The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face, and Killing Me Softly with his song. Roberta Flack was 88 years old.
That song, Roberta Flack, Killing Me Softly, was the #1 song in the world for decades. Absolute decades. She was born in 1937, February 10th, 1937. Just celebrated her 88th birthday in Black Mountain, North Carolina. I grew up in a large musical family and learned how to play the piano at age 8. Played in the church choir. By age 15, she entered Howard University. By age 15, she was at Howard University in Washington, D.C., one of the youngest students ever to enroll. And she eventually changed her major from piano to voice and became an assistant conductor at the university choir. What a life. What a life. And what a beautiful song. You will always remember Roberta Flack for that song, Killing Me Softly with his song. Beautiful, beautiful song.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anna Bay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anna Bay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slip covers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Lowe's has the Labor Day deals you need to give your home a new look. Buy one, get one free select interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Then, add the final touch with 2 for $8 on select 2.5 or 3-quart mums. Refresh your home and save big while doing it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Mums offer in-store only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowes.com/rebates for details.
And we're getting into spring. Spring has sprung. The grass is riz. Tell me where the flowers is. That's an old poem that I think I need to work on. Spring has sprung, the grass is riz. Tell me where the flowers is.
Jesus.
God almighty. I wasn't very good at writing poems. You know, I mean, it rhymes. I just don't think grammatically we're there yet.
The words rhyme. They do sound like each other.
Spring has sprung, the grass has riz. Tell me where the flowers is. I like it. I'm sticking with it. So it's going to be in the 80s from now until Wednesday. You know, it might reach 90 in Palm Springs, some low-lying valleys or the high desert, low desert, 90 in February. So that's kind of a cool deal. And so I think we deserve this. You know, we've gone through a lot this year in Southern California. We had the heavy winds. We had, of course, the horrible fires. We had the rains. We've had people stealing crap every night. Every time you turn the TV on, another business is getting rolled, or guys jumping into a house looking for watches and jewelry and paintings and crap. And so we've gone through a lot, and I think we deserve this kind of weather where you get out and you can play golf or tennis. I don't know what you do, what your activity is, but whatever your activity is, maybe you can enjoy that. And so it's award season, not only on TV for movies and television, but also locally. And so I was very thrilled to be asked by LAPD. I'm going to present their awards on April 17th for their I guess the best of the LAPD cops. That'll be a big deal. And then Huntington Beach, they asked me back, I don't know why, but to present the awards to their police department in Huntington Beach. MC it. And I got in sort of trouble there last time. They haven't asked me back in about 4 or 5 years. Because last time I was there, I said, we were doing a luncheon at the beachfront Hilton there in Huntington Beach. And I was emceeing and everything was going great. And I said, wow, I just noticed this. If all the great cops are in this room, then all the really crappy ones are on the street.
Woo!
And then somebody said, hey, that went over the radios.
The radios.
Ooh.
And you got to get to the 405. Good luck. Good luck. Man, oh man, that was a rough ride. And then I'm doing something at the Queen Mary. I blew this guy off. I said, he called me last year in September. He said, hey, can you do something in May of 2025? And in September of 2024, you don't even think you're going to be alive in May of 2025. So I said, yeah. And then I forgot about it. And then he wrote me back saying, hey, are we still on for May 7th? I'm like, I don't know who this is. And then he said, oh, you're doing the Queen Mary. I'm like, oh, yeah, Christ, I forgot about that. Yeah, I guess we're still on. What the hell? So I'll do that. And then the San Juan Capistrano Parade. I said yes to that as well. And I think I say yes to things when I'm buzzed at night. And then when I wake up, I'm like, oh, Christ, I got to do that. But then I figured this out, Croge. If I get arrested, either for stealing stuff or, I don't know, stealing a car or,
that's pretty extreme.
Yeah, I throw while I'm driving, I drive my car into a wall or something. I get arrested for a DUI. I think a lot of these things will cancel, especially if it's pretty public. So I think it's a good way to get out of a lot of this crap.
Get them on your side.
That's right. Like, oh, LAPD, I got arrested the other day. You still want me? Oh, no, we can't have you, buddy. You're arrested. You're not wanted here anymore. So, oh, okay. Hey, Huntington Beach, I got arrested. I threw my car into a brick wall after about 9 martinis. Still want me here? No, we can't use it. Can't use it. All right. There's 2 off the list. What about Rotary Club? Oh, yeah, no. We've all had DUIs here. Come on down. Yeah, you'll be fit right in. What about the San Juan Parade? Oh, you have to have 2 of them. You had to get in this parade. So you're still on for that. All right. Well, very good. At some point, I think we're going to get Charlie Fox on the radio. What's the latest, Matt? Did you talk to Charlie Fox?
I did, and he is coming on at 5:05.
Woo! 5:05. He wrote Killing Me Softly. He wrote the song, Killing Me Softly. He also wrote some other songs I bet you would know. Have you ever heard of the theme to Love Boat?
Oh, come on.
He wrote that. How about Laverne and Shirley? He wrote that. Schlemiel, Schlemazel. House and Pfeffer Incorporated. Ba-da-da-dum-ba. He wrote that. Maybe you saw a show called Happy Days. Yeah. He wrote the theme song to that as well. Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. Tuesday, Wednesdays, Happy Days. He wrote that song as well. So he's the nicest gentleman you could ever meet in your life. And he said he'd love to come on and talk about Roberta Flack. So at 5:05, whatever you have to do, got to get back by 5:05 and listen to the man who wrote Killing Me Softly. And he's got a great story as well, because it wasn't really written for her initially. And, when he wrote it, it was for somebody else. And he's got a great story on how she got connected to the project. So at 5:05, Grammy-winning singer Roberta Flack, who passed away today at 88. And we're going to get a big, huge, great story at 5:05. So come on back, wherever you got to go. Maybe you got to have a cigarette and a beer or both. I don't know what's going on with you.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at washablesofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
All right, Jay Ratliff is with us. He is the iHeart and Fox Aviation Analyst. And man, Jay, every time we turn the TV on, there's another crazy air incident, huh?
Yeah, there's been a few, but
Whoa.
you know, any time that we've got a situation where we've had a commercial accident or certainly a fatality, all of the general aviation accidents start popping up.
Yeah.
Now, across my desk, typically I'll have one or two a week where I have a general aviation accident that we have a report on, and we will sadly have a loss of life of anywhere between 400 and 550 people a year. And when we had the crash in D.C., it ended about a 16-year run where we had no commercial aircraft crashes here in the United States from February of 2009 until that point. So when you had that and then the Alaskan airline crash that killed 10 people, you had that horrific medical aircraft that crashed in Philly. All of a sudden now everybody's just looking at everything. And then, of course, we had the situation in Toronto, which was a media frenzy. And every single time that we've had an aircraft, it's a Cessna land somewhere, if we had the two colliding in Arizona, you have all of these where it gets people to the point where they're thinking, Jay, I mean, planes are falling out of the air. And, of course, I'm a statistical-based kind of guy. And I remind everybody, look, every year we have, 9 million departures here in the United States, commercially speaking. And when you realize that 2.5 million people or so travel every day with literally no problem and did so for an extended period of time, look, I don't want to minimize anybody's anxiety because I understand it, but we're talking about three different types of situations. It wasn't two airplanes colliding in D.C. as a result of apparently air traffic control issue. We had a helicopter that was not in its right position, either by fault or an equipment failure. We had the situation in Alaska. We still don't know what caused that plane crash, and we're learning more and more about the Toronto crash. So these weren't like three of the same types of incidents that took place. And I certainly point to that saying, look, we're going to learn from each one of these, and we're going to continue to make commercial aviation even safer.
You know, Jay, I'm old enough to remember flying from LAX to Cleveland to see my grandparents. I think most of the time we were on Continental or TWA. And the flight crew and the pilots would fly from LAX to Cleveland. And then you talk to them while you're on the flight. And they would stay there for 2 or 3 days, get rested up. And then they'd take another flight, from Cleveland to Seattle or whatever. But I think nowadays, with a crew that starts at 6 a.m, they may have 4 or 5 or 6 legs during the day before they end their shift. And I think not only does that take a toll on them, physically and mentally, emotionally, but a toll on these airplanes. These airplanes used to fly once, twice a week. Now they're flying and landing, 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah, but on the equipment side of things, every piece of an airplane has a part number. Right. And every part number has a very specific mandated FAA inspection date where a part is either replaced or inspected for wear and tear. So you may have an airplane that's 16 years old, and of course we're thinking, oh my gosh, all I can think of is having a car 16 years old in my driveway.
Right.
It's completely different because those airplanes, those engines, the fuselage, the different parts of the avionics package, the landing gears, the tires, all of those components are inspected and replaced or at least looked at on a regular basis. In essence, the entire airplane is being rebuilt from time to time. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have mechanical situations where parts fail. It doesn't mean we have other situations where human error factors into something that causes a near accident or accident. But, when you look at the United States, we have enjoyed, up until that D.C. crash, the safest air ever that we've ever had in commercial jet travel.
Yeah, I think it's great.
When you look back at the various decades, I mean, there was times we would go and have 4 or 5 incidents a year here in the United States.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember the big one.
Thankfully, those days have subsided, and we're working real hard to keep it that way.
I remember all of them. The big one in Chicago with the DC-10, Flight 800 that left out of, the 747 on TWA that left New York on the way to Europe that exploded just off of the coast. I remember all of them, and they're all, really, really gruesome. And you have to think, like, for instance, you're old enough, as I am, to remember Flight 800. I think it was 800, wasn't it? Flight 800 left out of...
Yeah, that's a TWA out of JFK,
right.
Yes.
So they said when the nose cone and the front of that plane blew off, it actually still ascended. It went up for another 35 seconds with, 300 or 400 mile an hour wind blowing through the cabin. And you think about stuff like that, and it's unnerving. It
is. And unfortunately, my position in the industry for 2 decades had me sitting in on more briefings from the National Transportation Safety Board than I would ever like to be in, and learning about accidents and what happened in the aircraft and what happened to the crew or the passengers and all of the things that occurred. Very unsettling.
Yeah.
But when you look at the National Transportation Safety Board, as they investigate every single incident, one of the things they do is they will learn the cause or causes. Many times there's many different causes. And then they will submit to the Federal Aviation Administration 5 or 6, 8, 9, 10 different recommendations saying, here's what we learned. Here's what we can apply to commercial aviation to make things safer.
Good.
Now, the FAA will get that list, and I would love to say they adopt every one of them. They do not. They may take 1, 2, or 3 and say, hey, we're going to do this. The airlines may push back on cost for some of them, but for the most part, we continue to learn. We had that horrible crash of the Air Canada flight in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I think there was 8 or 10, maybe 13 different things that came about, and that number may be low. I'm counting on my 60-year-old memory here, but the idea was that there was a lot of those recommendations that we learned from, so that we now have the lights that point us to the exit. And we've got materials on airplanes that are even more fire resistant than what we'd had before. In fact, when you look at that Toronto crash,
that was remarkable.
The airplane seats did exactly what they're designed to do.
Yeah.
Stay in place. Those seats we complain about that, keep getting smaller, they're rated for 16 Gs. And they stayed exactly where they were supposed to. The fuselage stayed together, didn't break apart, didn't create a situation where we would have more of the aviation jet fuel that these people would be exposed to. And you look at all of the things that happen, that's what these airplanes are designed for. And Bombardier, which is the Canadian jet manufacturer there, they build an incredible aircraft, just as Airbus, and when Boeing does it right, that they do. So, that's one of the reasons that with each one of these accidents, we continue to see more and more people survive, because so many times, it was a miracle on Hudson. The plane lands, designed to float for a while. It did, allowed everybody to get off that airplane without any problem at all. And, we just had some injuries and thankfully no fatalities.
Yeah.
And that can be the norm on things.
I think you're right.
Obviously. Yeah.
I love it. I don't mind flying at all. I never get frightened. I have no control over it, and I'm not one of those guys. But I think those, the people who inspect these planes, they're worth their weight in gold, especially, 20 years ago when we discovered micro cracks and they were able to, yes, look deep into a wing and stuff like that. Jay, appreciate you coming on. I say fly, fly, fly. It's very safe. And I think more people should be like me.
Right there with you, brother.
All right. Thanks for coming on. All right, that's great. Jay Ratliff, I hope he soothes some of your, raw nerves when it comes to flying. It's still very safe to do. When we come back, Charlie Fox will be with us, one of the greatest songwriters of all time. He wrote the song Killing Me Softly. As we remember Roberta Flack today, who passed away at age 88. He wrote that song. One of the most talented men in the world. And he's coming on with us on KFI. It's a real treat. All right, we're live. It's Conway Show on KFI AM 640. Conway Show on demand on the iHeart Radio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeart Radio app.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Bay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Bay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.